Hey y'all, it's your girl Millie Chun, and thank you for being here today at our last love and relationships episode conversation. Ebony is not here today. She is away with her son. He is being inducted into the National Honor Society, and that is a great feat. So, congratulations to him, and congratulations to Ebony and all of her hard work. So today this is going to kind of come to a close to this relationship episode series that we're doing. So we have spoke with singles, we spoke with people that have been newly engaged, and we have spoken to a couple that has been married over 30 years. So now today we're going to talk with Andrea Sharp. And Andrea does not have an unfamiliar situation. She has a situation that will happen to any couple who is married in a relationship. And she is dealing with the recent loss of her husband. So we're just going to have a conversation. I really and truly don't even have questions for her today. She is a friend of mine. So I feel like this will be very personal, up close. So if you have any questions, make sure you put them in the chat. Hello, chat. And we're just going to get started. Thank you, Andrea, for being here.
You're welcome. Thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
You are so welcome. How are you today?
Today, this
Mm-hmm.
second, in this
This
moment,
second. Uh
I'm
huh.
okay.
Good.
I'm okay.
So
Yeah.
have how has your week been with the girls? Because you have two daughters, and what grades are they
Yes.
in?
So Tony is in first grade.
Mm-hmm.
Madison is in the 10th grade. So let's say today is a Monday. So they
Right.
both are active in dance. They both attend two different schools. So that's me going to the school 4 times a day and me going to the dance studio 4 times a day because they practice and they have school at different times. So um, it's definitely it's work. It's a lot of time when you're doing it by yourself.
Right.
Used to having a partner to help me with all of that, but we're adjusting. We're adjusting
Okay.
accordingly. Yeah.
So it does kind of help just to have something to do
Mhm.
daily,
Yes,
right?
absolutely, absolutely.
And your girls are they are very active, they are very beautiful, and they're just getting older.
Yes, they are. They are. They are. I say that they are so resilient.
Hmm.
They're so courageous, and I admire them so very much. Especially with the age difference.
Yeah.
They both grieve very differently.
Yeah.
Um, Tony has a teddy bear that the school, they've given her in Madison this teddy bear, and she uses the teddy bear as her coping mechanism. Like she's hugging it,
Okay.
she's talking to that's daddy for her.
Okay.
Um, Madison has moments. She has
Okay.
she just has moments, and I try being there the best way that I know how. Hugging them, letting them know that it is okay to grieve, that it is okay to cry, be angry, whatever, and that I'm here. I let them know that
Right.
you still have me. It's okay to
Right.
grieve, Daddy, but Mommy's here.
Right.
Yes, Tony. I'm sorry. They're in
So
the back. Yes.
so let's talk about Dunn for a minute.
Okay.
I know he is a very creative person, right?
Hmm.
He's done some things for me, and they have just been amazing. And he's also a very laid back kind of guy.
He is. Yes,
A
he
little too
is.
laid back,
Yes,
but
absolutely.
but Dunn never just took life serious. Like he got up and he lived every day full.
Yes,
You know.
yes.
Now, was that okay with you? Are you like that, or were you just a little like done? Let's get it done. Blah blah blah.
Yeah, Don was very spontaneous.
Mm-hmm.
He didn't do like planning of trips or he just wake up on a Friday and say, "Hey, let's go to Canada." I mean, it was very, very chill. I think I've seen Don upset maybe a couple of times. Just
Mm-hmm.
very mellow, just very easygoing. So when he and I first met, we were young. We were very young, and I was
Right.
doing a lot of this, and he was not having it. So I was like, "Oh, this can be easy. Like you don't really have to argue and battle. It could be." I was like, "Okay." So that kind of mellowed me out some.
Hmm.
I'm more of a planner. I have more structure, so it worked. It
Yeah.
worked, so
Yeah.
yeah, it worked. But yeah, never really sad, always an upbeat spirit,
Hmm.
um, making the best out of everything. That was just his personality. That was his spirit. That was just him.
Right. So what I want to just talk a little bit, just a
Okay.
little bit about cuz I know that like you said I know that he is a very upbeat person,
Mm-hmm.
and I miss him, not like, I miss him too.
Yeah.
But can you just talk a little bit about your last day
Okay.
together?
All right. So it's a typical morning. We got up together. We took the kids to school. We would drive Tony to school. We'll come back home. We'll get Madison and we take her to school. And I had a few meetings that day. So I
Hmm.
was sitting in my office. He came to the door and he was just standing there. I'm on Zoom. He's dancing in the door. And I'm like, this is typical of Don. He's dancing and I'm like, don't stop. I'm on a call. I'm telling him that I'm on a call and he's going down to the floor, just being done, just having fun. So I got out of my call and we were talking and he said, Faish, life is short. I said, I know, Don. I said, so much is happening, and he said, I'm glad that we live. He said, I'm glad that we have fun. And I was like, me too. And he went over into the dining room and we have a big family portrait over there. And he
Hmm.
just stood there looking at that portrait and he said, we need to get some more pictures. We need to take another picture this year. And I was like, we'll get to it. We'll take another picture. And then we talked a little bit more and he just kept talking about making memories. Like we need to continue to make memories. And I was like, we have stuff planned. We're going to travel this year. And there was something that he told me. He was like, man, if something ever happened to one of us, he said, I need to go first. I mean, just talking. And we're laughing. I'm like, why would you say that, Don? And he said, because you would have it. He was like, you got it. You got everything organized, when the girls have this and that. And I joked about it. I said, you would be fine. I said, you're gonna be late for all the stuff that they have. I said, but
Everything.
you know, I said, you'll be fine. And we went on. That was just nothing. It was just a regular
Just a
conversation.
regular day.
Yeah, and then he went and picked up the girls. He picked up the girls from school. He took them out to get something to eat because I was doing something, and he came back in here and he was playing with Tony. They were hitting the ball back and forth. They were playing, and I said, "Don, you're late for your meeting. Like you're late. You need to get out, so you can go." And he's like, I'm not worried about that. I'm spending time with my baby." So he played with her a little bit extra, and then he came to the door and he was like, "All right, I'll be back. I love you." Gave me a hug, just regular.
Regular day.
Last That was the last time I spoke with him. That's the last time. And he sent me a text message around 7 saying, instead of coming home, I'm gonna go help a friend. He was getting ready to go to help a friend whom he was designing this restaurant for. And
Okay.
he said, I'm gonna go help a friend. And he did, but it started getting a little bit late. And usually Don would call me or he'd text and say, hey, I'll be out a little bit late, whatever. It was like 10 o'clock. And I started calling him like, hey, just checking in on you. um no response. And I'm like, okay, maybe they went to grab drinks or something. And
Right.
it was about, I say, a little bit after 1, maybe almost 2, and I just got a knot in my stomach. Like Dunn and I were so spiritually connected, like we were
Hmm.
connected. And I sat up in the bed and I said, something is wrong with Dunn. I said, something is wrong. I just felt it. I felt like
Hmm.
I just felt it. I can't really explain it. And I said, God, I said, please just let anyone pick up, just answer his phone. Just let anyone answer his phone. And I called the phone and it was Grady ICU.
Oh goodness.
Yeah.
And
Yep.
so,
Yeah. And when she answered the phone, it was the nurse. And I just said, is my husband dead? Because it's like, I just said, is my husband dead? And she was like, we just need you to get here. So I'm called my sister. I'm like, come get me. Just don't ask questions. And I had one of my very close friends here. I was like, get my girls, send my oldest to school. Don't mention anything. If anything
Okay,
comes
yeah.
up, I'm out helping him with the job. I said, keep the baby here. Spirit just said, keep the baby here. Let the oldest go to a normal day. And we got there. And when I saw him, I just knew. I knew.
Yeah.
Yeah, I knew at that point. But he
Were
stayed with us a few more days.
were you at, like, when you got there and you saw him and you knew, were
Hmm.
you because that is a lot.
It is.
So were you how was your mind going? Because right at that moment, there was a lot of responsibility. And I speak from experience
Hmm.
from losing my father and seeing my mother. That's why I can say that.
Hmm.
So I know she just snapped right into it. Like, because
Hmm.
there's no time.
Yeah,
There's so many moving parts.
yeah. So when I saw him and I talked to him and I just could feel him pretty much talking to me saying, remember you told me that you got it. You said that. That's all I kept hearing from him. And he looked just peaceful. I'm not to, go into that, but he was at peace, and I knew that I had to let him go. That was the hardest
Hmm.
thing I think I've ever done in my entire life, and everyone around me couldn't understand what was happening, but
Right.
he and I had that connection, and I just knew that I had to let him go. And in that moment, it's like I received a peace over me
Hmm.
that I still can't explain to this day. I can't explain it, but
Right.
I did get into gear. Like I started doing things,
Hmm.
but I have to tell you, my village, my friends and my family, my
Hmm.
village,
Hmm.
it's like God grabbed all of these angels and said, hey, I want you right there. I need you with the kids. I need you cooking. I need you helping with the literally people came to my aid, including you and Pone.
Hmm.
The gratitude that I have, I keep saying that I just can never pay you guys back. I kind of think of ways like, what can I do without my village? My village. I appreciate and love everyone, every single person. I wish I could just hug them daily. That is what has kept me and my kids, my village.
Right.
Yeah.
So, okay. So I'm going to speak to Madison and Tony
Okay.
because I haven't lost a husband, but I know what it's like to lose a father at like
Mhm.
14 and 17.
Mhm.
So Madison went to school and she had a her last really normal day,
Yeah.
right?
Mhm.
Um so how was that for her? Like, how did you talk to her when she came home? Cuz you have to talk to her and Tony different.
Different. So I did allow Madison to come to the hospital.
Okay.
That was a big decision for me. I wasn't going to let Tony see that, but I had them bring Madison to the hospital, and before she went in the room, I had a very long talk with her. I kind of gave her a rundown of what was going on. I was
Mhm.
like, you're about to see your dad in another light, but I need for you to talk to him. Anything that you want to tell him, you let him know. Get as many hugs, pictures, whatever you want. This is your time to do it. And I told her
Mhm.
I was sorry. I said, I'm so, so sorry. And she kept asking, why? What did we do?
I know. So, how is Madison being the oldest daughter? Because I know I'm the
Yeah.
oldest,
Mm-hmm.
and like I have very small siblings. My sister
Mm-hmm.
was 14 and my brother was 7.
Yeah.
So, you know, as the oldest, you
Mm-hmm.
have to try to keep it together. But she's so
Yeah.
young.
She's
And
still
then she
young.
looks at you.
Yeah.
And then
Mm-hmm.
she looks at you. So how is she doing?
Right now, I'd say that Madison is doing okay.
Mhm.
She has days. She has days, and she'll come to me and say, Mommy, what did we do? She's like, is this real? Like like dad, I was just talking to dad and he's not here. She's like, mommy, how does it even work? And sometimes
Right.
I can't really answer her. I'm just there for her. I'm
Right.
like, come to me, like I got you. I know I can't really tell you what happened there, but I have you. Like mommy is here. I'm going full force. Like I am
Right.
here, but it's okay to grieve. I always let them know that it's okay to grieve. So she's doing okay right now.
Okay.
Tony,
The baby. She's the baby.
the
Tony is
baby,
the baby
she's the
girl.
baby. When everything happened, I had her speak with the school counselors, and
Right.
after she spoke with them, I had her come back home and I explained it to her. And, for the first few weeks, um, she was sad. She cried.
Yeah.
She cried
Yeah.
every
Yeah.
single
Yeah.
day for the first 2 weeks.
Absolutely.
And then after that, she understood like the other day. I'm sorry, Millicent. Hold on one second.
She's going to go and get Tony together. Tony is her youngest daughter, and Madison is her oldest daughter. Dunn was a really like stressless dude, to put it in short. Okay, we're back.
Okay. Yeah, I'm so sorry about
It's
that.
okay. It's okay.
But yeah, recently she took her teddy bear to school and she said, I said, what did you tell them about your teddy bear? Because they had show and tell. And she said, I just told them that the school made this nice teddy bear and it was daddy and that daddy passed, but he's always in my heart and that he's always with me. He's even at school. So he is with her and they're connected heavy, like
Y-
spiritually, because he's
yes.
talked to her in her dreams before. And she was 5 at the time. So
Right.
she has that comfort there.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, how are you doing? Because I'll just say, watching my mother go through that, like she had to be strong. She had 3 kids. You have 2
Hmm.
kids.
Hmm.
So how are you doing at 7:17 p.m. Eastern time?
Right now, I am I'm doing okay.
Okay.
I'm doing okay right now in this moment. I didn't sleep last night.
Hmm.
Yeah, I have nights like that where it's just you're constantly thinking. You're thinking about the kids, you're thinking about the house, you're thinking about finances, you're thinking about the yard, you're thinking about just the little things.
Everything.
Who's gonna
Everything.
the trash things that he and I would do together. I'm hitting some more months without him. I haven't gone through an August without him. I haven't gone through a September, without him. So it's that. Then you think of the void. You think of the loneliness. Will you date again? It's when I say it's a slew of emotions,
Right.
it's a ton of things. So right now in this moment, I'm doing okay.
Okay. Are you
Yes,
speaking? Are you speaking to somebody? Are you in therapy? Is that something you want to do or thought about doing?
yeah, I'm getting there. I know for sure that I have to do therapy. It is something that I'm open to. It is something
Hmm.
that I want to do.
Okay.
I'm in that phase right now where I'm like, I need to find the perfect therapist, but I know that that's not a thing. It's probably
Right.
some
It's
avoidance.
an excuse. That's a little
It's an
excuse.
excuse. It's an avoidance in me,
Yeah.
because I don't want to face it. I'm trying to, but I know that I need it, and I'm getting there. I've been looking. My sister's been, yeah, I'm getting there.
I know that on your social media, like on your TikToks, I
Mhm.
absolutely love your TikToks, and I
Thank
feel
you.
like that is your pre. Those are your pre-therapy sessions,
Yes.
and I've seen you. I've seen you, like, first of all, for your birthday, your family, your friends were
Hmm.
everything, and when you went out on the boat, I thought that was so
Yeah.
amazing. I was very happy to see that.
Oh, thank
I
you.
was I
Thank
was
you.
extremely happy to see that. Um, but then you have those moments when you're really talking to people who may go through what you go through. Could you
Hmm.
just shed some light, just for anybody who could hear this, that
Hmm.
somebody could pass it on to somebody who's dealing with it? Could
Hmm.
you just give us a little advice of just how you feel and how
Hmm.
you get to the next step, just the
Okay.
next step?
That's the next step. My advice is to grieve, to absolutely grieve. Cry, scream, do whatever it is that you need to do to get you to that next moment, but don't stay there.
Okay.
Whatever you do, And I know it's hard, it's tough. I just mentioned a few days ago on my TikTok that there's some days you don't want to get out of bed. You don't
Mm-hmm.
want to get out, walk out of the front door. You just want to lay in it. And you can do that for a moment.
Yeah, you can do that.
But then you have to get up and keep going. That's
Mm-hmm.
the thing. You grieve, but you have to move forward. Just find whatever it is that gets you going. Find that whenever you're in that space and just know, all right, I've done this. I need to get up and handle my business. And my girls, that's my driven force. I
Right.
have to. They've seen me in my most weakest moment, my most vulnerable moments, because at first I was just like, oh, they don't need to see me crying all the time. They don't need to see me sad all the time. Now, when they see me cry, I'm missing daddy. My heart hurts right now. I'm missing him. But you know what? Once I'm done crying, mommy's going to get up. I'm going to cook dinner and we're going to be happy.
Mm-hmm.
So I can't sit in there, sit in it. Because if I sit in it, I don't know, it's going to be pretty hard getting out of it, you know?
Right. Right.
So that would be my best advice. And also to live. This
Mm-hmm.
has taught me, and we always say it, Mill, that life is short and it's tomorrow's not promised. When it happened to
Right.
my dad, I was devastated. This happened to my husband who was in his 40s, who was just dancing in my office, having the most beautiful conversations with me, loving our kids
Mm-hmm.
with so much life in you. And now he's gone. So live your life to the fullest. Don't have regrets. Do what makes you happy. Don't worry about what other people have to say, because you can be up here and they're going to say something. You can be down here, they're going to say something. It's so much easier pleasing self. That's so much easier. And that's why I'm like, now I'm grieving, I'm hurt, my heart is broken. But you know what? I'm a free little spirit right now. Like, I've done some things these past few months that I have never done in my life.
Really?
I'm choosing to live. I'm taking chances, things that I'm taking chances. I'm living and I'm trying to be, I just want to be happy. I don't
Okay.
give away my energy like that anymore.
That's good.
I can't afford it. I can't do that. You know,
That's good.
peace is everything to me. But that's my advice. That's my advice.
So you said you living your full life, and you mentioned a few minutes ago, and I know it's early, and I know this is not on your mind, but
Yeah, yeah.
you have to probably think about it. Do you want, like, Dunn was the love of your life, right?
Absolutely.
So
Absolutely.
I feel like when you have a love of your life, you just need to make sure that's just the love of your life. You get something else that you have a chance to get, and if that works, what does that look like to you? Well, I mean, Ebony's here. Give me a second. Okay.
Okay, sure, sure.
Hey, Ebony, can you hear us?
Mhm.
Yes, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Ah.
So we're talking with Andrea, and I was just asking her about what does it look like. I mean, is she thinking about the love of her, like moving on with love, because this is what this is about.
Mhm.
At the core of me, I am love. I say that all the time, and it's about love and relationships. So, and I feel like everybody needs love.
Mhm.
However, don't, not however you can get it, but you need
Right.
true, pure love. So, where are you? I mean, I know you think about a lot of things. Do you
Mhm.
think about that a lot?
Yeah, I think about it a lot because that I have that void.
Mm-hmm.
Just to have all of that love on a on an everyday basis, just to have it, and then it's just snatched from you. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
that void is definitely there. Now, if we're speaking in terms of if I thought about marriage, like if I will ever
No,
get
not
married again,
marriage, not marriage.
that's okay. That's a
Not
hard
marriage.
no right
Cause
now.
yeah,
That's a
cause
hard no
you
right now.
it's too early. I was just saying, like, just to have somebody to talk to. I know you have friends and stuff, but sometimes you may want someone, you may need that. That may be a
Mhm.
void where you don't have someone to talk to.
Now
So
that oh, go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
yeah, so that's what I'm talking about. Like, and I'm not saying anytime soon because it's new.
Mhm.
So I'm not talking about, oh
Um,
girl, get out there. I'm not saying
yeah,
that.
I know. I know.
Yeah.
Um, I'm open. I'm open to conversations with the opposite sex. I'm open to that. My thing is this. I know who I am,
Mm-hmm.
and I don't want to be this person who no longer has life in me, who no longer has light and love. I have that to give, and I know I can easily receive that from the right person.
Right.
So if that means a good conversation with someone, yeah, absolutely, I'm open to that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Ebony, do you have a question just coming in?
I do, and forgive me if y'all have already covered this topic as well. But what is it like for you when you meet somebody and they see that you're an attractive woman and they try to, as the young kids say, shoot their shot?
Hmm.
How does that make you, how does it make you feel? Do you feel like a sense of guilt that someone is attracted to you? Do you feel a sense of guilt if you feel like, oh, well, they are attractive too, but I'm a widow now? If you could
Hmm.
just, verbalize what you feel in those moments.
Okay. At the beginning, because I went out with a friend and I had someone, we were just like on the dance floor and just kind of standing there moving a little bit. And someone did come and grab my hand, like for me to dance.
Mm.
This was maybe 5 months after, and I kind of like pulled back, but then I started thinking about it. I'm like, they don't know me. They
Right.
don't know my life. I
Right.
can reject them, and I don't have to be rude about it, but they don't know me. And I
Mm-hmm.
took that into consideration. Now, just last week, someone came up to me when I was out and about saying all sorts of stuff, and they were like, I'm sure that you're a married woman." And I said, "No, I'm actually a widow." So that started a whole nother conversation. Wasn't rude. He was just like, "I'm just so sorry. You're such a beautiful woman. I just knew that you were married. I hate that that happened to you." So it just it just depends. But I'm not one of those people that I'm going to be like, "Don't talk to me.
Mm-hmm.
I just lost my husband." That's just not me. I have more grace. I'm not going to do that. Now, if this were right after, my initial reaction, probably so, but not
Right.
so much now.
Right.
Yeah.
So,
And then,
what are?
sorry, and the follow up was, is there any guilt?
Oh yeah.
Guilt, absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely.
How
What
do
is it that
you?
what is it that you feel?
I feel like one, oh, it's too soon to maybe
Mhm.
converse with someone. That's the first thing.
Mhm.
Then two is like, oh my gosh, my husband was he was everything. And I'm just going to go over here and just converse with another person. And oh, I'm a widow, but I am still married. I'm still wearing my ring. Like,
Are you?
also,
You
Mm.
still
I
wearing your
am.
ring?
I have not taken it off. Yeah, I can't. Now, I would feel very, very guilty if I took that off. And I know that's not, I know I shouldn't, but I haven't gotten there yet. I haven't
But
gotten,
it's so early, right?
yeah, it is.
And it's hard to let go 100%, and it's gonna be a minute before you let go,
Yeah,
right? That's not gonna happen
yeah,
in 2 or 3 months. So
absolutely.
I would say definitely if that is your comfort zone, whatever you need to do, like the kids have the teddy bear, you have your ring.
Mm-hmm.
I would say that, just for you, just for yourself.
Yeah.
Don was an entertainer, and I saw you singing one of his songs the other day. How did that make you feel?
It made me feel so vibrant, full of energy, peace. I felt like he was right beside me. The energy was epic. It was my birthday party, and it's like I could feel him. That's what he does at my birthday party. Like, my birthday is a bigger day for him than it is for me.
Yes, I
And
know.
so they handed me the mic, and I was just like, yeah, I'm about to do this for Don. And I felt so good about it. It felt really good.
Good,
Yeah.
good. I'm glad to hear that. I I just know that I just from being around you all, I just know how you all were, how you all joked and stuff, and I was like, I know she just misses the noise, just the
Mm-hmm.
noise, just the
Mm-hmm.
noise.
Yes.
Hmm.
Yep. So very much.
So how are you? So school has started. The girls are in things. What do you do, like when it's nothing to do in your quiet time?
Think. Just if it gets quiet, which it really is. My work, I work from home and I can get quite busy, but there are moments when it gets quiet and I'll go to my closet. I mean, we share the closet. All of his things are still they're in there. I tried to unpack one day back here. I got a little bit done. The shower, everything is in the same place. The garage where he worked, I'll go out there and I'll just sit in the garage. And I replay. Some days I replay that night of
Oh
when
yeah.
everything happened. I'll just replay it and I'll be like, okay, did anything happen? Like, did I miss anything? And it's just my mind just having that
Hmm.
idle time to think.
Hmm.
So yeah.
Well, like I said, I speak from the girls' perspective,
Mhm.
and like I said, I lost my father when I was 17, and birthdays, Father's Day, Christmas, those days are
Mhm.
not easy,
Mhm.
and I mean it gets a little simple, it's just a little notch, just a little chip off, but
Mhm.
they're never gone. So
Yeah.
I just would like for you to just let the girls know, it's okay to feel however they feel, whatever they're feeling,
Mhm.
and they'll be strong because of that, because they know what kind of father they had.
Yes. Thank you. I
Hmm.
appreciate that.
Yeah, they will. They will. Ebony, you have anything to add?
I do. So since his passing, you know, as us as living as we gon' because I lost my only sibling.
Oh,
So you
okay.
establish like a new normal, what this new life is, after the services and the family giving you condolences and the weekly check-ins and all of that. And
Mhm.
people, really trying to love on you and make sure that you're good in those first couple of weeks.
Mhm.
What was maybe one of the first new things that you had to get used to, that maybe you and your husband had this routine? Maybe it was you dropped the kids off, he picked them up, those kinds of things.
Mhm.
What was the first new routine that you guys had to establish within your new normal, and you said, like, wow, I'm really doing this without you?
Mm.
The first thing I would say is school. We had a morning routine where he and I would take, like I was telling Neil earlier, we take Tony to school, come back, we pick up Madison, take her to school, and then we go grab us some coffee or something. So that's something new that I had to do by myself. And I say the hardest thing was the dance competitions. It's like everything was a trigger for me, because they have all these big duffel bags. He would do that. He'd do all of the driving to all of the competitions, so I'm just in the seat by myself driving. The kids are on the back seat. No one is in the passenger seat. And it was hurtful. It
Mm.
was very hurtful. I had so many moments where I broke down, at the dance competitions because he'd always be right there. Or there were even moments, when I dropped off Maddie, it wasn't so bad, but dropping off Tony, and she's so, just looking at her, she's so small, and we'd walk her in. We would literally get out of the car, walk Tony to the classroom, and I see my baby, and I'm like, oh my God, it's me. I'm looking at her like she's this vulnerable little 5-year-old, and he is not right there. And those were the most vulnerable, moments. I would take her in and come to my car and I just lose it. Like the first few months, I lose it inside of my car and I would just cry and just, I was angry, I was
Hmm.
sad, I was like, you're really gonna have to do this by myself. That was a routine and done, and I had been together for 17 years.
Wow.
I wake up to him waking up to him,
Right.
and then you don't have it anymore.
That is hard.
Yeah, that's hard.
That's hard.
Yeah. So,
But you are doing so well. Like I said, when I see you on social media, and I think you give the best advice
thank
when you're
you.
talking about being a widow, when you talk about living life and just being grateful, you know. And I love when you're with your girls. And I mean, I like I said, I can only speak to them, so I know when I see them, I, I just understand what that is. But I just wish nothing but peace for you.
Thank
That's it.
you.
That's what I wish for you and over you,
Thank you.
because I think that will help you to move forward. Um, and I know that you'll find love again. It won't be Don's love, but you will find love again, you know? And it's okay. It's okay, because things change, right?
Right.
And this is a change, and you have to understand that you have to change with it. Like you said, you can't just sit in it. You can sit in it for a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
You have to get up and you got to move with it.
Right. That's right.
So how are you? School has started, and I'll say this: like I know with my father, he was with us all the time. He was a principal, so he was at home all
Mm-hmm.
the time. But he moved to Ohio, and we were supposed to move to Ohio. But those couple of months before he got ill, it's just amazing how God works, because
Mm-hmm.
he gave us time to move every day, like we were going to have to move for the rest of our lives without him.
Oh, wow.
Have you had have you had those moments, or are you living there? Are you finding it easier now? You know what I mean? Have you had to do that before? I'm asking.
Yes. It's funny that you say that because you know how Don is. You know, for one,
Yes,
he's gonna be late.
yes,
So,
I do know that.
like the last few months, I remember that he had like these big jobs. He had done some stuff for BET, and he was so proud of it. He was working really hard, but that put everything on me. So I'm jumping out of a meeting. I'm running to pick up the girls, and I remember texting him like, "Hey, I've been picking the girls up and taking them. Can we go back to we're sharing the responsibility?" And he's like, just let me get through this. So I had started doing it already. I had started doing
Mm,
it, right?
right,
And then with my job, you know, I traveled for years
right,
out of the blue. Done passed in December. In October, I got a promotion to work from home. Out of all the 18 years, I got a promotion out of nowhere. It didn't make any sense to us. And I was like,
right.
oh, they're going to put me on this an oncology study. I'm like, oh, that's going to be that's new, that's tough. They were like, but you get to work from home. He was so excited. He's like, man, we can go get coffee every morning now. Like you know, and it was just positioning. Everything was being positioned,
Yes, it is.
you know?
It is,
So
because it's
yeah.
just. I mean, like it could have been something different,
Mm-hmm.
but it is always, if you just look back at it, it is always him ordering your steps to get you prepared to what is to come.
That's
So
right.
know that you can handle this. You can handle it. You're not going to be, no more is going to be put on you than you can handle. And I know it seems like that.
I appreciate that.
I know it seems like that, because you have two girls. You have two active girls. You
Mm-hmm.
know, you're in Atlanta, and it's moving and shaking, and you got to get them where they got to go.
Yes.
You know
Yes.
what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But you can do it. You can do it. So, and I know you're a peaceful spiritual person. So I know that it's gonna be, it may seem hard, but it's just gonna be mechanical for a while, and then it'll
Mm-hmm.
probably make a little bit more sense.
I appreciate that.
Ebony, do you have anything to add?
I just want to add, and I just want for you to tell other people who are experiencing grief. Um, how did you turn your pain into it? Have you been able, from your TikTok, I've
Mm-hmm.
seen some things. Is that how you basically have kind of funneled your pain into a purpose?
Yes, I do that. I do a lot of journaling. I meditate a lot now, more than I ever have. And I just find that peace within. I don't know what it would look like for anyone else, but it's like a driven force inside of me. It won't let me give up. It's like it will not let me give up because it could be easy to do that. Trust me. When everything first happened, I was just like, you know what? I can just sit in this bed and I'm good. I don't need anything. I could just, be secluded. And then I was like, you know what? That's not my life. That's not what Dunn would have wanted. I have two girls who depend on me, and I had to find peace. The hurt is there. The void is gonna be there when you lose someone.
Mm-hmm.
But a friend sent me a text, one message, and it said, just keep going. That was one of the most powerful text messages that I had ever received. Just keep going. Like it's 3 words, but I'm like, okay, I get in the rut. I'm like, Vice, just keep going. If you can put one foot in front of the other,
Mm-hmm.
just keep going. And again, the village. I was telling Millicent about my village, these angels, spirit, whatever. My village is phenomenal. I cannot thank them enough. They've kept me and my girls from the messages, from pulling up, people bringing my trash cans in, coming over, doing my yard, coming cleaning, cooking. It's like, I'm like, God, I'm so fortunate, and I'm just I'm extremely blessed, and I know that. So it
Mm-hmm.
outweighs the bad, you know? And then I think about Dunn as a person. He would be so upset if he saw me moping around every single day or not getting my stuff together with these kids. That was not in him.
Because
And
he
if
would be like, Feist, what's wrong with you?
yes, I was telling her we didn't argue and stuff like that because he was just so easy going. I'd be arguing with myself if I tried to do that.
Look, girl, you have never seen anybody as laid back as Dunn. Like
Never.
like Dunn could have the weight of the world. He would go in there and play music. Like,
Yep.
Dunn, what are you doing?
Yeah, he wasn't into all that. He'd
Mm-hmm.
see me mad or upset, and he'd be like, "Hey, were you still mad? I didn't know if you wanted something to eat." You know, if you
Say a way to a man heart is their stomach, but that's the way to a woman heart.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah,
well, give
that's
me a
true.
2 piece spice.
right, go ahead and give me something done. Whatever. That was just him, just as
That's
happy
it.
as he wanted to be. That's why, like his death, it really affected a lot of people. A lot of people were
Yes.
so hurt behind it. But the love and support that he spread, I mean, the love that he spread, I'm telling you, so many people have contacted me that I don't even know,
Mm.
like that I don't even know. And when he was at the hospital, hundreds and hundreds of people, they came to, it was just it was beautiful. Like they all came to see Dunn. The people were trying to put limits on who could come back. They were just like, whatever, we can't control. Let them come see
Oh
him. We
wow.
don't know who this man is, but we know that he had to be really important. So
Right.
yeah,
He
it
was
was
loved.
he
He
was
was. He
He
yeah.
was
was.
loved.
Hmm.
Uh Andrea has to get out of here. She has to go pick her daughter up. But we want just give us one more thing that you could give us to just make it through. And that's just us, not us losing someone and from a place of love.
Hmm. Just to make it through. I know I've said this before, but to grieve, you have to grieve. I know I said that before, and it's okay to sit in it for that moment. Find your strength, find your peace. It looks different for everyone. Find that and let that be your way to get out of that rut. It's going to happen, it's going to come, but you don't have to sit in it. And if you have life in your body,
Hmm.
like my person is no longer here, he's gone, but I'm still here, you're still here.
Right.
We have life in our bodies, so we have to live. We have to live for us, for no one else. That's
Yeah.
another thing. You can live for yourself. It's easier to please you than it is to please everyone else.
Amen.
That's
Mm.
my best advice.
Yes, yes, well
Yeah,
said.
yeah,
Well
that's
Thank
it right
said.
you.
I
there.
love that.
Thank you.
Well, Andrea, I want to thank you for coming on, sharing your story. I appreciate you um, doing this, ending this series with Ebony and myself. Ebony, I'm so glad that you could be here. Thank
Yeah,
you
it's
so much
nice
for
meeting
coming
you,
in.
Ebony. And
Thank
And,
thank you
you.
both.
I'm a
and
water box. I'm sorry about crying, girl.
It's
okay,
okay.
that's okay. That's okay, girl. I went and got tissue before I even started, so
I'm like, I had to
I
get my
already
little
knew
pillow
it was gonna be
case.
rough. But I just really appreciate you for doing this because I felt like you needed to say something. You know what I mean? And maybe something you said today, you can let it go and move on to the next thing and
Yes.
eventually let that go. You know, it's going to take time,
Mm-hmm.
and just give yourself patience and grace because this is forever for you,
Yes. Yes.
right?
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
Dunn is the love of your life and he will always be that person.
Yes.
So if you meet somebody else, try not to compare them to Dunn. They're not going to be him.
There would
So
not be a
it
comparison
would
here.
not
I'm
be
trying to
him.
have an open mind. He was just so
You
strong.
might be shocked. But at the same time, friend, like I said, I just want to thank you for doing this.
You're
We talked, like I said,
welcome.
we talked to singles, we talked to newly engaged couples, we talked to a married couple for 30 years. And then I just wanted to just put it out here. Just when you lose love, when you lose the love
Mhm.
of your life, what does that look like? How do you move
Yeah.
on? And you are doing a great job, friend.
Thank you.
You're doing a
Thank you
great
so
job.
much. Thank you.
And like I said, thank you again. So if you just sit there, I'm going to say goodbye to everybody in the chat
Okay.
and I'll let you go in a second. I want
Okay.
to thank everybody for being here today. Thank you for listening to Andrea's story. Make sure you share, like, subscribe to the channel. Ebony and I will be back with something else. We got to talk about something else. We'll have another series. It may still be love and relationships. We don't know, but I just want to thank y'all for following us during this series. And if you liked it, let us know what you liked about it. But for now, we're out of here. It's your girl Millie Chun, and I'll talk to y'all later.
Bye,
Bye,
guys.
everybody.